Welcome to Full Court Cousins Podcast, where hoops run deep, a family runs deeper. I'm Renee, here with my cousin and co-host Dominique, and we're breaking down women's basketball. So let's lace up and let's talk hoops.
All right, so let's get started with what we actually seen on the floor last week. So Renee, what you want to talk about?
So this is Hoops Recap, and we are going to get into what happened. So first, we're going to get into Unrivaled. Unrivaled, we went. For me, it was a great experience. A lot going on at once.
Very fast-paced in person and on TV, but
it can be overstimulating. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a lot going on. It's a lot of people talking, a lot of things going on. So I had to take a breath, but it was a really good experience. I really liked it. I was able to get whose autograph did I get? Jackie Young's autograph.
Are you kidding me right now? I was so hyped.
For my cousin, not for myself. I didn't do it for me. I literally fell down the steps. I was like, Renee, please don't embarrass yourself in front and fall.
I know, over here talking about why I didn't run with you. I would have trampled down them steps.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. It was good. I really loved the atmosphere of it. I loved it. The one thing I will say is that the Owls got their first win. Shout out to the Owls for getting their first win. Yeah, they look good. They look good.
And on that, the Hive also got their first win against Rose, which was pretty crazy. I don't know what they was doing.
Which was really good for them.
It was good for them. I don't know what Rose had going on, but Hive was not playing no games.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was definitely fun. When you first walk in, it's like, well, it's still outside kind of, but they got so many games and stuff everybody can play, pictures to be taken. So it's kind of like, it really is a lot going on.
Yeah, but it's a lot going on. Yeah. We got some merch. I like the book that they got. I think I'm definitely gonna be able to. I'm gonna invest in that book. They have an Unrivaled book for the first season. It's really good. It was.
I thought you got it.
I did. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying I think I'm gonna get every season. If hopefully they do it, I definitely think I want to get every season.
Yeah, I'm definitely
it's a really good book. I sat down and looked at all the pictures. I loved it. Yeah, man, Unrivaled been doing their big one. Shout out to Paige. She won the 50K for free throws. I think she did 13 out of 13 or 14 out of 14. One of those.
13 out of 13.
There you go. 13 out of 13. So
it was like her and a couple other players that shot 100% in free throws so far. So I can't remember everybody off the top of my head. I know Jordan Canada was one, but I can't remember everybody off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But no, Unrivaled was very fun, which leads me to the CBA lockout that is possibly going to happen with WNBA season. Josh Cloud did an interview saying that Unrivaled is actually preparing to extend the season. They're going to be playing to make up for the WNBA games we're not going to see. So that might be a thing.
I missed that.
I seen that. And I was like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Listen, pay these women what they deserve, right? I think the last time I seen the highest paid person, that had to be like Erica Wheeler or Jackie Young. And I think they were getting maybe a little bit above 200. I could be 250. Off on that. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, which is crazy, right? And let's just think about if we're talking about a Angel Reese or a Paige, people that are just coming in, they are stuck in that whatever range that is. They are stuck in that range for 4 years. They can't get no increase, which is kind of fucked up. So they gotta really, really work for their businesses, whoever endorses them, and you shouldn't have to work that hard for when you're already in a league.
Right.
Pay the players what they're worth. I'm just confused.
And I think the WNBA is just really in denial, and they don't think that the players will lock out. They just keep promoting All-Star Weekend. They're so funny because now all of a sudden they are putting the AU games on the WNBA app. And I did see that. Y'all are ridiculous.
All of the games are on ESPN as well.
It's so ridiculous.
They're all being televised on ESPN.
Which is also weird activity because they never offered Unrivaled, I don't believe.
Well, to be honest, I feel like they see Unrivaled as direct competition. I think they see AU as, just like a low-key summer league type shit. And a showcase, right? Which is not true. Which is not true at all.
Right.
Because AU is getting paid not as much as Unrivaled, but I will say more than the WNBA. They're getting paid bread. They're getting paid some type of money.
They look like they're having a lot more fun out there. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah. And we'll be out there at the end of February. Yeah, end of
February
February, we'll be at AU.
20th and the 21st. We're going to both games. Well, all
Yeah.
4 games because there's 2 games a day.
Friday,
So if y'all
Saturday.
there, let us know. Let us know. We'll be there.
Yep.
Tap in with us.
You want to get into some college?
Oh, Texas Tech lost their first game on Saturday
Yes, they
to
did.
Kansas State, which is
Yes, they did.
now leading Vanderbilt and UConn, only undefeated teams. I seen, and I don't even know how I didn't peep this, but the fact that Vandy's coach has played and assistant coached with Geno.
Yeah.
And they're the only undefeated teams. I feel like that says
Yeah.
It says a lot.
No, it does. I mean, I think, and this is just a me thing. I think the assistant coaches do more work than the head coaches, and I don't say that to say head coaches ain't shit. They don't do nothing. It's more of like a lot of the work, a lot of the focus, a lot of the things, a lot of the responsibility is on the assistant coach. And I said it because when I played, I seen my head coach do bare minimum, and the assistant coach is like really like, no, this is what we need to do. They are the brains behind the madness. So I expect nothing less. Anybody that's under anybody that's as good as Geno. So I
Very impressive.
yeah.
Louisville had a big win overtime against NC State. That made, and now Louisville is now ranked number 8. They were not even ranked at all. So for them to make that big of a jump, insanity. Imani Berry, she came off that bench, 33 points. I don't even think she was in the game a whole 60 seconds before she started scoring. Huge impact, only a sophomore, very young. She's getting more minutes this season, but she's a dog. And I feel like she needs to play a lot more for one, but she definitely should be feared.
Yeah. So shout out to the person on our TikTok that told us to make sure we talk about her.
Yes.
We appreciate the comments and everything that we get from everybody. So yeah, we had to make sure we did a spotlight on her because she played really well, and I love seeing or watching a player that I've seen or I could see potential in, and then you could just see like I see it now, like how good she is and stuff like that. So I like her. I like her.
That was not a tough game to be scoring 33 on either, because
No,
NC State was still
no.
going crazy. Don't get them wrong. Like,
No,
I mean, that's why it ends up in
NC State is
overtime.
yeah. NC State is good.
Of course. You got anything for us?
Georgia beat Ole Miss.
I seen that. I was actually gonna go to that game straight off the plane. I was gonna go. I was.
Sounds good. And I thought about going to that South Carolina Coppin State game, and I was just like, I just don't have the energy. I was
Tired.
like, I cannot get up.
Exhausted.
I was tired. But yeah, Georgia beat Ole Miss, and if I remember from the box scores, Cody had less than 10, if I'm not mistaken. Ole Miss can't win without Cody scoring the ball. They can't. Not a good win. That's not good that they lost that game. LSU beat Oklahoma. Shout out to Flage. She had 23 points, 10 boards. One of the best games thus far this season.
There was some shade thrown at the end of that game. They threw shade at Aaliyah Chavez. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I didn't catch it either. I had seen people on Twitter talking about it, but I guess LSU was being shady after the game towards Aaliyah because she was supposed to be going to LSU, and she did not go to LSU. She did go to Oklahoma. So they threw a little shade.
Hey, listen. All's fair in love and basketball, what they say, huh?
I ain't mad at it now.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody call them class and stuff. It's a game.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Anything LSU does, good, bad, or indifferent,
automatically goes classless, and there are these people, and oh my gosh, please.
Ohio State, number 12, Ohio State beats number 9, TSU. Great win.
Seen that.
Gray had a really good game. If I'm not mistaken, I think she had 22 points. She came up and really showed up for Ohio State, so that's really good. Mississippi State, which I feel is a sneak team, beat number 7 Kentucky. I think Mississippi State, when they're on, they're on, and when they're off, they're off, and they win some games that they shouldn't win, and they lose a lot of games that they shouldn't lose, or they should be to me a little bit closer. They lose a lot of games. I wonder, y'all are better than that, in my opinion. Iowa State lost 5 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did. They sure did.
They lost 5 in a row. It is looking nasty.
I
still
don't
have
know what
faith
is
in them.
happening. I do not know what's happening with
I still
them.
have faith in them. Let me say that.
I don't know what I need from them. I just need them to get it together. I need them to get it together.
I have faith in them, but it is not looking good. UCLA destroyed Maryland. Destroyed Maryland. And what I can say is my conclusion of this whole thing is there's a lot of movement in the rankings. And you just never know who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, how much a play how much a team's gonna lose by. It's a lot of close games. And teams that are ranked are getting exposed for not being as good as their record is showing. And I will say, I always give grace to the teams that have to play who they have to play, right? There's a lot of teams like you got to play who you got to play. Your conference and your conference. A lot of people don't want to play you guys, but you guys are really getting exposed for being number 9, number 7, and losing to unranked teams because you're good, but not that good. Or not showing up when you're supposed to. Let me say that. Sometimes you just don't show up when you're
Yeah,
supposed
there's
to.
been a lot of ups and downs. Ranked teams are now unranked,
Yes, a lot of
teams that you wouldn't even think would be ranked are now ranked. It's just insane. It's insane.
Yes, it's a
Very
lot.
messy. I think the last thing I want to say is Vandy's freshman, Galvin.
Yes.
She is leading all freshmen in steals, assists. She
Yes.
slept on. She slept on, man.
Yes.
And Michaela Blakes don't play about her. She told y'all. She think her freshman is the best freshman. Y'all better watch out. Y'all be talking about the wrong people.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say best freshman, but she is good. She is somebody that snuck up for me that I wasn't like looking
The freshmen that people are going for, that we're going for at the beginning of the season, honestly, I haven't heard that much about them recently. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to say, cause I love Dunn. USC, lost to Maryland, but Dunn had a great game. She had 25, 8 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. No, 25, 5 and 5. She had a great game. She had a great game. So I like to put out people that play well even if they lost. It's okay. She's having a good season in my eyes. So tonight we are talking about the people shaping the game from the sideline, the coaches. Not just wins and losses, but culture, development, and trust.
All right, so we're gonna start with Geno. Big name, still coaching. Man started coaching in 1977, still here. I mean, I don't know. With Geno, he just knows how, I feel like, to develop every kind of a player. At the same time, like, a player can come to him as a guard and they're going to know how to play every role on the floor. And
Yeah.
I don't know how this man does it, but he gets them to adapt so quickly. He's one of the top coaches for a reason. He's just excellent. He expects excellence, and the way he develops is just not negotiable for him. So I'm a fan. I like Geno.
Yeah. Geno, UConn has one of the most dominant runs, just being national championships, getting to where they need to be. And he literally redefines what a great player is. Right, we're talking about Stewie, we're talking about Maya Moores, we're talking about Sue Burns, we're talking about Diana Taurasi. If we're talking about players like that, Tina Charles, there's a list of players that he is known for coaching, and they are not dominant for no reason. They are not always talked about for no reason. They are literally great players. So since you got into Geno, I'm going to do my due diligence and do Pat Summitt. Love that woman. Pat Summitt, Tennessee. To me, she has built the blueprint of elite women programs. I mean, the culture, I mean, the development, I mean, what it is to wear Tennessee. That's why a lot of people still want to go to Tennessee. It's not because of what they do now. I'm not saying they're not doing nothing now. I'm talking about we are talking about history. What they have done. It's a lot that goes on. She has won 8 national championships. Again, unmatched culture impact. And I think it was 2006, the most winningest coach. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably changed. But in 2006, she was the most winningest coach.
So right now it's Geno. Yeah, it was.
I'm sure. He's still coaching. She ain't here, so
You know.
I mean, let's sit and think about, like, if she's still here, like, how would that look?
Yeah,
Would
so
she have changed teams?
it was her. It was Tara was after she had passed it a couple years ago, and then Geno I think recently passed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they've all been coaching since they were in the 70s, so
Jesus. Right.
right.
If we could get into Tara from Stanford. She is the epitome of excellence, longevity,
Right,
obviously,
the consistency,
player
no
development.
short-term success.
Yeah, sustained success across decades. She literally just stopped coaching a few
In
years ago.
2024, yeah.
There you go. I was about to say it wasn't
Like
that
right
long
at the end of
ago.
2024, she
There you
announced her
go.
retirement.
Yeah, so man, those to me, those are three top coaches that if we're talking about women coaches, you cannot forget their names. You cannot not talk about them just because of their impact, who they have produced, who they continue to produce, and just the blueprint, the culture of why people want to go to Stanford still, why people want to go to UConn still, why people still want to go to Tennessee. It's because of them.
Yeah, they all they prioritize exposure, and I think each and every one of them has built a foundation, especially within their program, but also for other coaches to look at and be like, hey, I need to be doing this. Like, see if this works for me
Exactly.
too. So man,
Exactly.
shout out to all of them. They're great. And coaching since the 70s is crazy. I mean, Pat Summitt, I'm pretty sure she still would be coaching if she didn't get Alzheimer's and
Yeah,
pass,
exactly.
but because
Exactly.
they do what they do, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're going to hop into our coaches, myth versus reality. The foundations didn't just create wins, but they also created identities. So, Renee, tell me if this is a myth or reality. Star recruits are harder to coach.
A myth, no. I think there's a difference between back in the day and now, right? I think back in the day, a lot of star recruits could get away with a lot of things. I think now they know that what they do on and off the floor is being watched. Coaches are able to talk like, hey, great player, bad attitude. So no, I don't think so. I think it all depends on like who you are, right? And I think a lot of there are some people that are like arrogant and not humble, but most of the women that we come across are usually very humble, very coachable that we can see, right? We don't know people, what's going on in practice, but that I can see, I don't really see that. But again, I'm sure there are some people out there that are like, bro, no. I'd rather not.
I would
Like,
say sometimes though, and not to go off of ego, but basically like the expectations of like having this player, because don't mess up and everybody you don't even deserve this player and their talent and blah 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 blah. Like I feel like the expectations of having such a star player is kind of hard to coach.
so I think it depends on who is commentating to bring up stuff like that, right? I think it really depends on who's really asking these questions because most people aren't asking these questions. They're usually putting a lot of the pressure on the players. Like
True.
if that's like the old Geno, he wouldn't have took that. You know what I mean? You hear how DT talks about how Geno was with him and then how Paige was how he is with Paige. He's adjusting to the new age. Even though he tries not to adjust, he has to adjust to these players in some shape, way, or form. So I think you're right. It really depends on it. I mean, because we could use a Miller from Rutgers to Penn State. I mean, what she did at Rutgers was just uncalled for. I don't know if her daddy or whoever put it out there. Um, her dad, you know what I mean? It just didn't look good. And word travels, and she ended up going to Penn State. Not saying that wasn't her first choice, but what I'm saying is she ended up going to Penn State. And let's just say, like, talent wise, she can play for a Power 5 team, talent wise. Now, we don't know what that attitude and how that is traveling around the coaches that seen her in the portal and, like, nah, we rather not deal with an attitude. We rather deal with somebody that is going to listen to us. You know what I mean? So it just depends. It all depends. Myth or reality? Great players always make great coaches.
Myth. And I'm going to tell you why. I have the perfect example. I went to overtime this past year, and I'm sure a lot of people seen it online. Miss Watkins, you're amazing, phenomenal. I love you. Don't coach no more.
She young.
Baby. No, and she said that. She said, I'm not cut out for coaching. And it's okay. It's not it's not easy to explain things to people, and even though you know it, like, you know the game, it's not gonna translate if you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to explain this and tell them what to do. She was on the floor. I don't even know what she was writing. I think at one point she asked her mom for help. Sometimes it's just okay. You just don't know what you're doing. My
Miss
brother's high
Watkins is
school
crazy.
coach, my brother's high school coach used to say that all the time, like, oh, I used to play. Like, okay, but you suck as a coach.
Yeah.
Not every player can coach.
Answer.
Honestly, I don't even know if my brother could coach, and he played basketball his entire life. It just sometimes explaining stuff is just not it.
It's hard to be a coach and a player. It's hard.
It
It's
is.
hard.
So it's nothing wrong with it. It's just don't think you just because you played
Sometimes you
the
just can't do
sport.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because you played the sport does not mean I can teach this. No, you can't.
Very
Stop.
true.
Just
That's very true.
keep supporting from sideline at this point. Myth or reality? Yelling motivates players.
No, not all players. Not all players. I would say
Agreed.
sometimes. I think you got to know who your person is, who your player is. You got to know. Sometimes that motivates and kicks them up to turn up, and sometimes it's defeating. Like, I can only
Yeah.
use me for an example. Like, yelling at me, it doesn't help me. It's not going to make me say, all right, let me just get it. No, it's going to be like, I'm going to be like,
You
turn
sit
my ears
down.
off. I'm going to turn my ears off and then do what I want to do. So, and we don't want that. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not the greatest attitude neither, but it's
Right.
just like, it doesn't always get what you want from the person. You know, you can
Right.
get a different side of them. So I think it's a myth. I think it's sometimes, because some players thrive off of being yelled at. Some
Right.
people be like, "Oh, I'm turning up. Like I'm gonna prove him wrong. Or prove them wrong." I don't know if I was that person. What do you think?
No, I have to agree. I think it really just depends because, like I said, I've watched my brother play his whole life, and I don't think people yelling at him translate it very well. Don't think he was you know what? I know he wasn't listening because I could hear the coach, and I can blatantly see my brother do the absolute opposite of what the coach was saying.
Yeah,
So it just does not work for everybody. You
yeah.
just got to know your players and know who it works for and who it doesn't.
Exactly. Exactly. So now we're going to get into how these coaches multiplied their impact. We're just going to get into some different coaches, talk about them. So first I'm going to bring up Vivian Stringer, Cheney, Iowa, Rutgers, Final Four for 3 different teams, discipline,
Tough.
one of the most respected coaches in my opinion. Yeah, I love her game. I love how she coaches. I can always remember, I think it was 2006, 2007, something like that, when Matty Ajavon, Essence Carlson, Epiphany Prince, Kiavon, and Kiavon is also one of the coaches that's for AU this year. I mean, I love that Rutgers team. I think they were so good, and I just think she is a winner at heart, no matter what. I love her.
So I'm gonna bring up Muffet McGraw. Just always led with confidence, clarity. Just her assistants, which obviously we talked about, big deal. She had them do more than I'm not gonna say more than what other coaches do, but she just trusted them with a lot of responsibility. Her players had a voice, held them accountable. It was just a strong foundation that she had.
Yeah. I want to say Pokey Chapman. I think a lot of people talk about LSU. I think she raised LSU. She is why people
That's fair.
think LSU is who LSU is now, right? I don't want to say the years, but this is when Simone Augustus was on the team, all of that. She is an elite recruiter, influential. She coached in the WNBA. She is just a great coach overall and is the reason why LSU is who LSU is today, in my opinion. In my opinion.
I'm not arguing. I'm definitely not arguing that one. The last one I want to bring up is Sylvia Hatchell from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just an early program builder right there. Like it's just she's coached through a lot of phases through basketball, and she always persevered. She pushed through. The endurance, she stayed relevant through it all, and I don't know. I like her.
Yeah, I like her. That's what we introduced me to Ivy Ladder, Earl Lurkins, and Latoya Sanders. That was that team that I really liked. One other coach that I do want to bring up is Gary
Mm-hmm.
Blair from Texas A&M. Won a national championship, long-term stability, culture consistency. I think he's not talked about a lot, but he did a lot. Texas A&M is usually a good team. And I say that because I don't know where they're at this year. I haven't really tapped into them. But Texas A&M usually has really good recruits. I remember watching him coach And I don't think a lot of people talk about him enough for me. I think he was for sure a really good coach.
All right, so we're gonna go jump into our moments that changed the game. So some moments that have pushed the game even more forward than individual coaches. We already started talking about it, so let's go just talk about the Tennessee and UConn rivalry. That dates back to who God knows when. At this point, Pat and Geno, I think they recently brought her up too because of Pat passing, being the most winningest coach. I don't know, they raised expectations with this rivalry, the competitiveness. They just had people wanting to be tuned in and actually watch women's basketball a little bit more. So I feel like they set a standard.
1,000%, 1,000%. I think I remember watching those games. That's when I used to. That's when I liked. Let me rephrase that. That's when I was heavily involved into Tennessee basketball. That was one of my favorite teams when I first started watching basketball, like when it was actually on TV. And it was because of Pat Summitt. You always heard the name. You always known who she brought up, who she recruited, and all of those things. So I definitely remember those rivalries. Very tough. If you like sit and watch it on YouTube now, it looks crazy. How big the jerseys was, the footage, how it looks. It's crazy.
Grainy.
It's crazy how it looks now, but
Be
that's
mindful. I
like
told you they've been coaching since 7.
yeah, for sure. Um, I want to take it back a little bit, and we're gonna just talk about Title IX. And that's when it was prohibited sex-based discrimination in every education program or activity receiving federal funds. So that's where it was the basics of where it is now, and that's why essentially NIL is where NIL is today, right? If there was not Title IX, there would be no NIL essentially. So yeah.
All right, so I'm going to jump back to UConn and their first national title in 1995. That was a huge win for them. It set the bar. The ceiling was just higher after that game, after that win, that championship. Definitely set a standard for UConn for sure. But yeah, that was a big thing.
Who doesn't remember that? I remember that. Wait, was you born?
No, I was not here. That's how long I'm trying to tell y'all. That's how long Geno been coaching. So I've been here since my lifetime and my mom's. This is crazy.
Yeah. Now we are going to get into our full court cousin Elite 7. Today we are doing it a little bit differently. We are going to use a coach, old school era coach. However, we are going to pick 7 players, period, that have played women's college basketball, any 7 that we want. So Dominique, you could go first and then we'll go back and forth. So say your coach and then your first player.
So I'm going to pick Geno. And what do I look like picking UConn players and not picking Miss Diana Taurasi? So Diana.
Okay, I'm going to say Carolyn Peck. First Black woman to win a national championship with Purdue in 99. Without her, there is no Dawn Stanley in my eyes, right? So who am I to not use Ivy Ladder? Because she is one of... She
was so nice, y'all. I wish everybody could meet her. She is a very nice lady.
Yeah, she is my girl. So I'm picking her.
So for my next one, somebody that still should be playing, but we won't argue right now, Maya Moore. Definitely pick her.
So you're going heavy UConn. You're going heavy UConn. Okay.
I gotta make sure my team is stacked. I'm not playing.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna take Essence Carlson.
Okay. I am going to do... I gotta take DT's daughter, so I'm gonna do Paige Beckers, because Paige Beckers.
Her daughter is crazy. You went a little new school. Let me see. Who am I gonna use? Ivy Ladder can work really well with Madison Booker is coming in my brain right now. So I'm going Madison Booker.
I am going to pick Gabby Williams.
You are like, I'm just gonna go UConn.
No, because this is so hard.
It is. It's a lot. It's a lot. Especially off the top of the head. Because I know I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I miss this person. Anyways, let's just go and we're going to go straight Shamika Holsclaw. Do we have to talk? I don't think so, neither.
Okay. I am going to do Sue Bird.
You just said, let me take the best of the best UConn players.
Yeah. Why would I not? My team needs to be better than yours.
I'm not mad
I'm
at it.
not playing with you.
I'm not mad at it. We're gonna go Shell Swoops.
Nasty.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shell Swoops. Yes.
That guy can only pick 2 more? It's crazy.
Me too.
This is so crazy. I got a couple in mind. I am going to pick I'm gonna do Fee. I'm picking Nafisa Collier. I need somebody over there.
This is
I'm gonna need
I'm
Fee.
gonna get somebody to scrape her, and which is Tina Thompson. Scrape her real quick. Get her out of here.
Okay. Think for my last one, man. Last one. I'm gonna take Rebecca Lobo.
My last one, we're going North Carolina product. We're going Larkins. Big girl. Yeah. And I was debating between her and Kiavon, but I'm gonna go Larkins.
That was so hard.
Yeah. I low key want to take Booker out of there and put another old player in there, but we'll keep
No,
Booker.
you picked already.
We'll keep Booker. I ain't
I
tripping.
feel like my team is really solid. My team is
It's very UConn for sure. I can see that.
Listen, we gotta win, right?
Mine can go up and
Alright.
down the floor. I have a great floor general.
I mean, I don't. I got my defensive players up in there. I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on.
Me too.
So my team should be feared. Anyway,
Let's see what everybody else thinks.
yeah, comment who y'all think team
For
was
sure.
better. And it better be
For
mine.
sure.
Thank you. All right, so if we're talking ultimate influence overall for these coaches, this is where the list is about to get shorter. We are going to do a Mount Rushmore, our top 4 coaches that we believe, older coaches, the old generation. Yes, we know Geno's still playing. I mean, he's still coaching. Got it. But he's been here since 77. So he counts. Anyway, older coaches, top 4. Who would your top 4 be?
All right. We're going Geno, and this is no particular order. Pat Summitt, I gotta put Pat up there. There's no blueprint without Geno and Pat in my eyes.
Okay.
For women's college basketball. We're gonna do C. Vivian Stringer. I just love her game. I love how she coaches. I love what she gets out of her players. And then the last person I'm gonna put up there is Carolyn Peck. I think she set the groundwork for Black women coaches. So I have to put a nod to her. Those would be my 4. What about you? What's your 4 looking like?
So, like you said, I mean, there ain't no Mount Rushmore without Pat and Geno, and they have a lot of motion. I'm gonna go Tara VanDerveer, my bad, and I'm gonna have to do C. Vivian Stringer as well. That would be my top 4 if I had to pick some coaches. It would be them.
Okay. I ain't mad at those. And we definitely want you to comment who your favorite coaches are, old generation coaches. You let us know what you feel. The last segment we're gonna get into is why this era still matters. And the question is how today coaches benefit from the foundation that was built. How do you feel?
I mean, still to this day, they're benefiting from the resources, the foundations that they built, whether they're coaching or not. You came into their program that they had already built up with all the players that they had, with the respect that they had. So they're still, they're benefiting from all of that, honestly. What do you think?
I think I'll just reiterate what I said before. They are the blueprint, right? You got to know your history. You got to know where you came from. You got to know why you're doing this, how you're doing this, and the coaches. And you got to know the coaches before you. So I think that's what they got to benefit for them. And to be around coaches that have been coaching for so long. I think you should open your ears because obviously they know something if they're coaching across several different decades. So yeah, they definitely benefit. Coaches, players, everybody.
The coaches nowadays have to understand what the older coaches, what it took for them to get to where they were and how basketball took to get to where it is today. It started with them. They, like you said, are the blueprint. It started with them, what they've done, everything that they've done to get here. They were, what y'all are seeing the coaches do now, they had to fight a lot more to get the exposure, to get onto TV. Everything was on TV and people were paying attention. If you look back at those games, like Renee said, I'm pretty sure you're going to see them stands pretty empty. Yes. People they weren't respecting women how they should have been. And they kept fighting for it. They kept fighting for all of it.
Yeah. When it comes to building a culture, the only 2 teams you can say that had stands filled was UConn and Tennessee, right? There were some other teams that may or may not have some, but field, Tennessee and UConn. If you was one of the best players, you was going to Tennessee or UConn. You can see the difference now because there's a lot of top ranked players, top 15, top 20s, even top 10s. They're not going to Power 5 teams. They're trying to build a legacy somewhere else, right? And we can use Juju as an example. USC was good back in the day. They were non-existent until Juju got there. You know what I mean? So
Very
that's
true.
another reason why people are, expanding, getting out of the Power Five, not going to South Carolina because it's so dominant, not going to UConn because it's so dominant, trying to build a legacy of their own. So I think people forget the accomplishments that the older people did, why they're so good, why they are still coaching this long. And it's not just
Also,
because
finish your thought.
go, just go.
I also wanted to bring up the lack of funding that they had. You see teams now, they got all this luxurious everything. Them teams did not have that back in the day. They did not have
Sneakers
it.
every other day, and yeah.
Probably bus riding it across the country at this point. You never know. Like the funding just wasn't there.
Definitely not getting charter planes, I could tell you that.
Absolutely not. For the whole, not even just the team, but the whole families are coming with the teams now, which is insane to me. So they didn't have all that. So it's like I said, it started with them. They built this up for y'all to have it now.
Yeah. Gotta know your history.
For sure. All right, y'all. So we want to know who your favorite legacy coach is. Of course, let us know whose cousin Court Elite 17 was better. Mine. And and who you feel like your Mount Rushmore would be, your top 4. Make sure y'all are subscribed to Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We are on all platforms at Full Court Cousins Pod, at Hoop Cousins on X. Make sure you guys are sharing with somebody else that loves the game. I'm Dominique.
And I'm Renee.
Where hoops run deep and family runs deeper. We'll see y'all next episode.